original plan was to stay here for a few minutes and then go all the way round to the Port Napoleon Marina. But alas, I just spoke to the Port Napoleon Marina and they don't have any space. So I walked up to the captainry here and they said, well, they've got a space, but only for 5 days, which actually is fine because I would hope to be moving after 5 days. Some kind of big boats here. Luckily, the marina said they'd send someone to help, which is really good. Well, that was interesting. The lady at the marina said you'll be in berth 8, so I checked out berth 8 twice. Got all my lines prepared mentally, how I'm going to do it, and then the boat guy who's going to guide me in brings me in somewhere completely different. So all my lines are in the wrong place, my fenders are in the wrong place, and I'm like, oh fuck. Today was just me kind of finding my bearings. I spoke to the captainry quite a few times and sorted out this kind of nice berth here. There's a channel that goes up that way which goes to the Mediterranean. Last night I was camped just over there, the other side of that bridge, and it's a very different marina to where I'm usually at. Look at this monster. It's a big racing trimaran. It's kind of different, but you know, different's good. But I really need to focus and finish editing my little adventures through France. And once I've finished that, I woke up this morning covered in mosquito bites. I hate that. Some time ago, I'm not quite sure where or when, it might have been in my loft back in Los Angeles, it might have been sometime when I was with my mother, but I thought it would be a kind of interesting challenge to buy a boat, live on the boat, and then take the boat all the way to the Mediterranean. Crazy idea, but I've done it. This is what I can see as I look around. It's very Mediterranean. It's quite warm, a little windy. It's nice. But now what? I'm not sure. I think I'm going to take the boat around the coast to Italy, Sicily, and then maybe Malta. We'll see. It's going to be quite a journey. Very, very different from going on the rivers and canals. That was a challenge in itself. I had a lot to learn. Took a year, but I didn't mind it taking a year because France was so beautiful and so friendly and nice that I'm like, okay, well, it's gonna take a year. So it did. But now we have to go somewhere else. I'm here for another few days. Today was my fucking birthday. And I got here 2 days ago, just before my birthday. I'm very pleased about that. But now it's time to move on. I've got another 3 days here, and then I'm off this mooring at this marina, and I'm off out into the Mediterranean Sea. I have no idea what silly adventures lie in store. But thank you for watching. Thank you for all the birthday greetings, and I hope you're in a fabulous place yourself, and maybe one day you'll come visit me on the boat. Who knows? It's possible, right? Sometimes I'll be in marinas, sometimes I'll be just anchored out somewhere. It's too expensive to stay in marinas all the time, so you just drop anchor and hey, that's your home for a bit. Anyway, it's gonna be fun. I thank you for all the support, advice, tips. I do listen, I promise I do. And thank you for just being there. So happy birthday to me. It is very, very windy today. It's gusting to about 35 knots, and I'm very glad I'm in the marina. It slacks off a lot next Saturday, which is good because Saturday is the day that I'm moving the boat around the other side of the bay. Hopefully I found a fairly sheltered marina. The wind's going to drop to 10 or 11 knots, and I guess we're just going to see what happens. I'm a little nervous, I got to admit it. I'm a bit nervous. I've not done anything quite like this before. I mean, in Swale, we're going around to Ramsgate, but I'm going into unfamiliar territory, and that's always just a little bit scary. And today is the last day I can do the laundry. I did buy myself a little gift, but it's just an inverter. I have several inverters on board, but they're nasty little Chinese ones, and at least this one's made in Taiwan and seems more solid. The ones I've got just seem to, I don't know, crap out. They work for like 2 hours, then they stop working. So this one's a bit more expensive, but I think it'll work a lot better. Just a couple of neighbors' boats leaving this morning. I'm going to be following them in about probably 2 or 3 hours. Today is quite a big day. I just spent the morning getting Puffles, which is my my tender, ready, because the next place I'm going to is an anchorage, which means that I'm just anchored. There's no power supply, there's no nothing. It's just me dropping an anchor, which I have done before. I did it just the other day, but it's the first time I'm actually doing it in the Mediterranean, and I'll probably be doing it quite a lot. So big day. Seagulls came to say goodbye, but I'm looking forward to it because everything's where it should be, and everything that needs to work is working. It's just a case of getting out there. So that went pretty smoothly. It's a little tricky getting out of that mooring because there's just not much space, and backing up is difficult because I've got the dinghy at the back. But all in all, that went pretty smoothly, so I'm happy. That is the Port Napoleon, where I was buying some stuff. Lots of boats up on the Hard. It is kind of strange, like finding yourself at the destination. I've been going over a lot of old photographs this past few days, and you know, some of the silly little adventures I've been on are great. They're just nuts, but I made it, you know. I mean, one piece, just, but I made it. It's good. Not even just, I'm joking, but it's been a year through France, and a year before that, just getting to know things. I mean, I could have done it quicker, but I didn't, and I like the way I did it, and I'm very happy that I did it successfully. It means quite a lot. You can teach old dogs new tricks. Okay, this is kind of it. This is the moment that I'm moving from the canals and rivers and channels and whatever to the actual Mediterranean Sea. And I go past this point right here. I thought there might be a little bit of a bump or something, or maybe a firework or two. Oh well. So far so good. We have one large boat, not sure where he's going, but I'm a good 2-3 kilometers away from him. Another boat at anchor, other boats heading out to sea. So it's pretty busy. I mean, there's a sailing boat there, there was a little motorboat zipped past me. So there's lots of boats around. Compared to the canals, this is wide open. Very different experience. So it's not just a different experience, it's a different mindset. I mean, there's the whole Mediterranean Sea here. And I'm used to like rivers and canals. So it's a little bit of a trip. But good trip. We're about 60% of the way to the destination and it's all gone pretty smoothly. There's more boats, like big boats around than I was expecting because they don't show up on the chart. The chart just shows where the water is and where the land is. It doesn't show boats, it's not live, so that's a bit of a shocker. One thing you do notice is the watercolor has gone from a greeny color to blue. So there's less algae in it because it's salty. Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful. Look, see how pretty that is? That is our destination. There's a bunch of boats there already, but I want to see if I can get past them into the inner sort of area. If when I get close that doesn't look possible, I'll just camp where they're camped. I'm a little bit closer than I'd like to be than that one behind me, but they're going to be moving. That one over there might be staying, but is a good distance away. I've got about 30 meters of anchor out, 6.2 meters deep. It's kind of nice. But what I'm going to do is there's a slightly better anchorage just the other side of these houses, and I'm going to pop the drone up probably an hour before sunset and see if it's cleared out a little bit. When I went around there earlier, there was a bunch of boats there and I didn't feel quite comfortable sliding into them. But if it's clear over there later, because the boats have left, I'm going to go over there because there's just a little bit exposed. There's waves just coming in and they're perfectly fine. But if I can go over there and the waves are 0.1 of a meter instead of 0.4 of a meter, then that'll be better. But it's very clear. I don't know if you can see down there. You can actually see the anchor. It's down there. So right now the boat is being powered by solar, the batteries, and it would be probably enough power to go for probably go till midnight, probably later than that actually. I've checked the other location with the drone and one of the boats is gone, so I'm gonna go and squeeze in where that boat was and it'll be a lot less rock and rolly. A swell came in and there's nothing you can do about it apart from move, so I'm moving. Okay, that's way calmer. But even though I've only been here for a couple of minutes, the wind's actually changed direction from that direction to coming from that direction. So now that boat is right behind us and I feel a little bit closer to him than I'd like to be, but the anchor's set. I don't know. I wish I'd dropped the anchor a little further away. I think we're good, but I'll keep an eye on things. This would be my first night anchoring out in the Mediterranean. There's my little anchor light on. There's my neighbor. There's a little port. I was gonna take the dinghy ashore this morning, but then I realized it's Sunday morning, everything will be closed, so that's pointless. So I'm probably just gonna sit on the boat for another day. I got some editing to do, and we seem pretty stable. I'm still closer than I'd like to that boat, but when I drop the anchor, you don't know how much anchor line he's got out. And so I think I've got a bit more than he has. So when we swing in a particular direction, I'm a little bit closer than I'd like to be to him. But he kind of waved at me and he's like, nah, you're good. And I'm like, okay. But I'll be a little bit more careful in future to anchor just a little bit further away. Even if it's only like 5 meters further away. You just, you know. But I'm sure other boats are going to populate this little area over the next hour or 3. It's a Sunday afternoon and it's quite nice. Oh, that's kind of typical. I decided to move my boat just to be a little further away from my neighbor, and 3 minutes after I dropped anchor, set myself, turned off my engines, they packed up and left. Oh! Nothing serious, just, you know, 215 locks, I think. I'm really surprised there's not a lot more. I have no idea how I dived in the water in the canal. Okay, back to the boat. Kind of odd seeing the boat from this angle. The water is just beautifully clear. So nice. This is just kind of a proof of concept, really. I mean, I know I can do it. I know I can take Puffles, my little dinghy, off the boat. But until you've actually done it, you don't realize that, you know, things aren't quite right. And you can tune them to make them a little bit better. But that was a pretty successful little excursion. The past few days I got bitten by mosquitoes. I didn't realize it. I think I was sleeping with a window open, and yeah, not fun. One thing that I am certain of is, and I'm sure everyone who has a boat or has had a boat will understand, it would be super nice if just for maybe 2 weeks everything just worked perfectly. But no, all of a sudden my solar system, which has been working fantastically, has kind of, like, I don't know, it's not charging right. We've had bright sunlight all day and yet my battery's empty and I haven't connected anything weird to the batteries. So, what the fuck? Greetings from Coghlan, which is just about 5 kilometers west of Saint-Tropez. It's a really nice marina. It's actually the biggest marina on the Mediterranean. There's about 1,500 boats here. And they've been very friendly, very helpful. And it's not that expensive. It's 43 euros a night to stay here. And Saint-Tropez, just up that way, is about 150, so I'm happy to be here, but I can't stay here forever. But my problem has been that I'm trying to get a Bimini cover delivered, and they keep stalling the delivery. So I keep going to pick it up, and they're like, oh no, it's going to be another day. So I'm waiting for that. But whilst I'm waiting for it, I'm kind of just liking this place more and more. So I might leave, scoot around the bay a little bit at anchor, and then come back here for another week or so. I don't know. It's really nice here. I decided to treat myself to a little sushi because sushi is really good. I used to eat it a lot in Los Angeles because it was local, it was inexpensive, and it was yummy. I don't think I've had sushi since Paris, but this is rather a nice location. It's not bad. Too bad it's only me, but you're just not here. You could be. Yummy.
Ah, bye-bye! Thank you very much, Lucy!
I went out for sushi, which was delightful. And I came back to the boat expecting to get some work done. And all the power's out. I thought it was just my boat, but I did some troubleshooting, ran a generator. It's not my boat. It's the whole dock is out, and I don't know what the temperature is. It is 36 degrees with about 70% humidity, so it's not good. A long time ago, my cousin Nigel and I came on a holiday to this area. He is still here, and I needed a package delivered from Amazon, and he kindly said, hey, use my chalet thing, because they don't deliver packages to the marina unless you have a full-time berth there. So I'm just waiting for this Bimini thing and the passerelle to be delivered here. I'm a genius. You see, if you're in the Mediterranean, you moor boats ass in. It's called Mediterranean mooring. Clever, right? But you need one of these things. It's called a passerelle. And you can get, you know, fancy ones like this one up there. It's got a little handrail, but you don't really need that. But they cost a lot of money. They're like 600 euros. And I'm like, there has to be another way. So I bought a motorcycle ramp. This is what you would use to load a motorcycle on your Ford F-150. It cost me 70 euros, I think. And I like the fact that it's red, because it means the boat gets easily, if someone's coming over, you're like, yeah, look for the red passerelle, which is like a casserole, but not really. Anyway, that's why I'm a genius today. And look, we have a little rainstorm. How nice. Sorry about the actual beat up face, I'll explain that later, but whenever it rains I always run around the boat and check that everything's where it should be and the windows are closed. It's so easy to forget. But that's quite nice. Just cover this up a little bit better.